What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna break down a full meal plan that has been designed for lean bulking. I think a lot of people get the wrong idea when they wanna put on size. The term eat big to get big has been thrown around forever, but if you do that, you just start eating whatever, which I've done before, yeah, you're gonna put on some size, you'll definitely get a little stronger, but at the same time, you're gonna increase the size of that belly, you're gonna gain weight everywhere, and when it comes time to actually cut afterwards, it's gonna be way harder to get that fat off than if you did the lean bulk approach. So today, the goal is to not only show you guys every single meal that I would eat in a program, well, my goal is to put on a little muscle, but I promise you these are gonna be delicious foods the entire time, and it's not even gonna feel like dieting. So without further ado, let's get this video started. And one thing I wanna stress about lean bulking that I personally recommend is that before you actually start bulking, you should cut down to a good body fat percentage first. If you're already fat and you try to bulk, it's just gonna make the problem worse. And I wanted to show you guys, for instance, for me, this is about where I wanna be at if I wanna reap all the benefits of lean bulking, because if I do this right, I might gain a tiny bit of fat, but I'm still gonna maintain leanness and I'll never lose my abs throughout the entire process. Anyways, that's my recommendation. Now, let's get to meal one. So we're gonna start our day off with the perfect breakfast, man. I'm gonna be making chocolate chip waffles, but obviously not regular old ones. We're making the anabolic version. High in protein, but still delicious. Gonna be perfect for this meal plan. If you have my cookbook, you can find this recipe at page 21. Let's go. So we're gonna be making a double batch of this recipe. So I'm gonna start with some egg beaters, and we're gonna weigh out 184 grams in a mixing bowl. Then next up, I got some fat-free plain Greek yogurt. I'm gonna go in and weigh out 340 grams right down in here. Next up, we need 2 scoops or 62 grams of a vanilla-based whey protein powder. I'm using that Final Boss Cinnamon Toast Swirl. And then next up, we need some Hungry Jack Complete Pancake Mix. You don't technically need this brand, any'll do, but I like the macros on this one. Now we're gonna weigh out 54 grams right in here. Now we get to the fun part, we got the chocolate chips. I recommend Lily's dark chocolate chips simply because they have more fiber and they're lower in calories than any other brand I've found. You can also use Hershey sugar-free, those work well too. And then finally, I just need about 4 grams of baking powder. And once we got all the ingredients in here, all we wanna do is go in with a spoon and stir everything together. Now that our batter's mixed up, I'm just gonna grab a waffle maker, which if you don't have one of these, you can easily make protein pancakes with this on the skillet, but I find this saves time a little easier. This thing's only like 20 bucks, man. So what we're gonna do is preheat it, hit it with a little nonstick, then I'll just go in with my spoon and fill the griddle with our batter. You wanna make sure you get this thing fully filled, but don't overdo it, or else sometimes it leaks out the sides. That's a pro tip. All right, that looks pretty good to me right there. Now we'll just close it up and wait a couple minutes for this to finish. All right, man, this is the breakfast of champions right here. One of my favorite recipes, hands down, man. I've always loved waffles, and now that I can make them better for me, higher in protein, hey, it's a win-win. Massive stack here. I got some fat-free whipped cream up top, and then the only syrup you should be using, Miss Buttersworth right here, the sugar-free version. Yeah, this is a pile of food, man. Let's get in here and get a taste test. Get some of that fat-free whipped cream. Here we go. I'm telling you, you make this recipe right here and you try it out, you'll be amazed at how close this is to regular waffles. Literally, man, I'm at a point where I can't even tell a difference. The chocolate chips, they're soft, they're moist, they're loaded with protein. Great meal right here. Now in our first meal, what we got is 964 calories, 20 grams of fat, 108 grams of protein, 88 grams of carbs, 20 grams of fiber. Man, a meal like this is the perfect way to start the day. I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, and I will see you guys at our second meal. All right, it's been a couple hours since the first meal, and I don't know if you saw how big that stack was, but I'm still pretty full. So right now, I'm just gonna settle for a protein bar as my second meal. More specifically, an Anabar, the new milk chocolate campfire s'mores flavor. This is dropping November 4th at 4 p.m. Central, so set a reminder or sign up for the newsletter on our site, finalbossfitness.com. Code RGF10 saves you 10%. The cool thing about this bar is it's covered in milk chocolate, which is a big change up from anything we've ever done. We got marshmallows inside, it's pretty wild. Here we go. Graham crackers in there, marshmallows in there, chocolate on the outside. She's a banger. Now, obviously, these bars specifically can work for both cutting or bulking, but I would say for bulking, they're probably more ideal because they are a little higher calorie. In this meal, we have 290 calories, 11 fat, 21 protein, 28 grams of carbs. So if you're the type of person that has trouble getting your protein in and eating, these can be great, especially if you're trying to put on some size. This is absolute fire. Anyways, I got some emails and stuff to do, and I will see you guys for our third meal once all this wraps up and we let about a couple hours go by. See you soon. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our third meal. I got a pack of chicken breast here and some seasonings, a little bit of white flour, and egg beaters. As we all know, chicken is a great protein source, but I like to put a little twist on it and make it more enjoyable. I will be making Parmesan garlic boneless wings. That is by far my favorite flavor at my favorite chicken wing joints, except at those, it's not as healthy. But here we're gonna put a healthy twist on it and we're gonna make it absolutely delicious. Keep in mind, for everybody out there that has my cookbook, you can find this recipe on page 99. I'm gonna start by taking some basic all-purpose white flour and I'm gonna weigh out 20 grams in a large mixing bowl. And then in with the flour, I'm gonna add a gram of salt, about a gram of black pepper, a gram of garlic powder, and a couple grams of baking powder. Then all I wanna do now is go with a spoon, mix everything together until it's fully combined. Once we got it all mixed, I'll just set it off to the side. Then I'll grab a small bowl and I'm gonna pour some egg beaters down in here to create a wash. And once we have that filled up, I'm also gonna set it to the side. And what I wanna do now is grab one of my chicken breasts out of the pack. I'm gonna trim off some of the goofy stuff on the outside, the gristle, stuff you don't wanna eat. We'll just throw that away. And now what I wanna do is go in and create little bite-sized chicken pieces that are gonna be roughly the same size as a boneless wing. I'm gonna do this until I have 224 grams. And then once our chicken's cut up, I'm just gonna put it down in our egg wash and submerge every single piece and let this soak for a little bit before we toss it in the breading. And while the chicken is soaking, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do for a side dish. Since we were making garlic Parmesan boneless wings, I picked up a bag of garlic Parmesan baby potatoes. Figured they would pair well together. This entire bag is about 410 calories, gonna help us get some carbs in and make sure this meal is a hit. This is easy stuff right here. We're just following packaging directions. Gonna dump these on a baking sheet, spread them out. I do like to elevate them with a little rack. I feel like that's gonna make them cook the underside as well as the top side. Make sure it's all crispy. And the weight of these potatoes per the package directions is 450 grams. I'm gonna go ahead, pop these in the oven so they're ready with the chicken. And now it's time to put the chicken together. I'm gonna pull a couple pieces out of our wash, let the excess drip off, and then toss them down in our breading bowl. Then all I'm gonna do at this point is go ahead, shake it up a little bit, let each piece get fully covered. Since we put it in the egg wash, the breading is gonna stick right to it. I might go in, flip it over, sprinkle a little bit on top, pat it in. Basically, the goal is to end up having it covered, and it should look like this. So I'm gonna go through, bread all of our chicken, and as I finish, I'm gonna sit them down in the air fryer. And now we got our air fryer basket fully loaded with our chicken. It's all been breaded, but one thing we have to do to make sure it crisps up is hit it with a light coating of non-stick spray. Now all I do is place my basket down inside the air fryer, and I'm just gonna let this cook for about 12 to 14 minutes, and at the halfway point, I'll flip all the pieces over to ensure we get even crisping. See you on the other side. Just pulled our chicken out of the air fryer and take a look at this. You got that crispy breading on the outside, that same crunchy texture as deep fried, except it's not. So what we wanna do now is take some lower calorie Parmesan garlic sauce and weigh out 45 grams in a mixing bowl. Then all we do is toss our chicken down in the bowl and then give the bowl a little shake, toss all of our boneless wings in it, and once they're fully covered, we'll be ready to serve. This is about to go down, man. This is one of my favorite meals right here. Once again, one that doesn't even feel like you're dieting. As you can see, we got the boneless wings on there. We got the Parmesan garlic baby potatoes. This is gonna make for a nice, filling, anabolic meal. Let me start here, man. We'll do one of these boneless wings. Just take a look at that. Let's get it. You gotta try this recipe out, man. I will put this up against boneless wings you would get anywhere else, man. If you just went tit for tat, Parm garlic wings, I'm telling you, these will be right up there at the top, and you won't feel like crap after you eat them. You know, these potatoes here, man, bingo. It's hard to beat a good classic potato, man. Now, our third meal of the day, with the boneless wings and 450 grams of the baby potatoes, what we end up with for the whole thing is 831 calories, 19 grams of fat, 66 grams of protein, 99 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fiber. So as of right now, if we add all the meals up, we're sitting around 2,100 calories, we've had 190 grams of protein. Realistically, if I stopped eating right now, that would be my cutting macros, but since we're trying to put on a little size, I gotta get into a minor surplus. So we still got 2 more meals. And keep in mind too, for any of the recipes I do on this channel, if you see one in particular you like, I definitely have a video on it. Or if you want every recipe on the channel broken down and easy to use guide, check out my cookbook, the RJF Anabolic Cookbook, available at the first link in the description box. Over 200 recipes in here, and I'm adding to it all the time. If you get it once, every future recipe I add to the channel gets added to the book for free. So it's basically like you get it once, you get it forever type of thing, if that makes sense. The goal with these recipes and this diet is to make eating something that's not a chore, right? You actually enjoy what you're doing, and I find that it's way easier to stick to something when you're actually eating good food. So all my secrets are in here. If you get it, I know you won't regret it. All right, man, I'm gonna finish this meal up. Got a couple more things to do, then I will see you all at our 4th meal. All right, gonna take a break from editing. I need to get a little bit of food in. I'm getting hungry, but I'm not really ready for a full meal. So at this point, I'm gonna have another protein bar. I'm gonna do the white chocolate fruity cereal crunch ANABOLIC. Definitely a showstopper, but keep in mind, man, whatever's easy, quick, and convenient for you, you can throw in at this meal right here. That could be another protein bar. That could be some oatmeal and some protein, meal prep, some chicken breast, whatever you wanna do. For me personally though, these things taste like dessert, so I like to have them as often as I can get them. And at this meal, we got 280 cal, 11 fat, 21 protein, 25 carbs, covered in that white chocolate. Let's give her a go. If you like white chocolate, if you like Fruity Pebbles, you'll love this one. And if you like small dogs, come on, bud. Then you should get you a little bud like Logan. Look at that. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish this up, and then once it's dinner time, I will show you what we're working with. See you soon. All right, it is dinner time. We got about 800 calories to play with in order to hit the numbers I want to hit. And what I decided to do was do one of my favorite recipes. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I eat pizza almost every night, but I'm not ordering it, I'm making it myself. What we got here is an anabolic dough ball that I made. Let sit for 30 minutes and rise. This is the healthiest way to do pizza dough that is still authentic. Check my video out if you got the cookbook. There's a full breakdown of how to do it, but it's stupid simple. You do it once, you'll be good to go. I also got some no sugar added tomato sauce. We got some turkey pepperonis, some fat-free cheese, oregano, and black pepper. Let's get started. First thing I do, grab a pizza circle, hit it with a little non-stick, then I'm gonna place my dough ball right in the middle and use my hands to form it into a dough. Keep in mind, if you wanted to skip this step, they make ultra-thin, custom-made pizza crusts you can find that are pretty low calorie. I use those a lot of the times if I don't wanna make a dough. But when I do have the 30 minutes or so to let this sit and rise, it really makes a world of difference. Now that we got the dough rolled out, I'm gonna weigh out 224 grams of our no sugar added tomato sauce and spread it on top of the pizza. And keep in mind, this exact recipe that I'm making is page 48 in the cookbook if you have it. And now that we got the sauce, we're just gonna add 112 grams of fat-free mozzarella right on top. And then one little trick I like to do, you can skip it if you want, but I think it makes a big difference, is just add a little bit of black pepper to the top of the cheese. Don't knock it till you try it. And then finally, we're gonna add roughly 60 grams of turkey pepperoni right on top of the cheese. And now that we're good, all we gotta do is pop this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 13 to 17 minutes, depending on how done you like your pizza. I will see you guys momentarily. Y'all could do me a favor real quick and just smash that thumbs up button for me. I always end up eating my food cold because I gotta get a good thumbnail. So if you could do that and leave a comment below, maybe leave a pizza comment or something. If you made it this far into the video, I'll know when I look down that you stuck around. All right, this is by far one of my favorite meals, man. When you make your own dough and you take the time to do it, this is truly a delicacy. I mean, look at that right there. Look at that dough underneath, man. We really made magic happen. Let's give her a go. I will stand by this, that if you made this recipe and you put it in like a to-go delivery box and you had someone pretend to deliver it to your house and you fed it to people, they'd have no idea that it was actually better for them, healthy, higher in protein, all the above. And once again, one of the best parts about a recipe like this is that you can literally eat the whole thing and you're not gonna feel like crap. You'll feel full, but you're not gonna feel terrible. If you swallow a large from Domino's, you're gonna be carrying that around for a couple days. But you do this one, completely different feeling, man. That's why I always tell people one of the best skills you can actually work on and hone is your skills in the kitchen. You make the right foods, this whole process becomes freaking easy. Now, this entire pizza, if you make it exactly how I did it, which you end up with for the whole thing, and the final meal today is gonna be 826 calories, 10 grams of fat, 68 grams of protein, 116 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fiber. And that has us finishing the day at 3,199 calories, 71 grams of fat, 284 grams of protein, 356 grams of carbs with 34 grams of fiber. So all in all, we had 3,200 calories. And my reasoning behind this is that when I calculate my total daily energy expenditure, which is the amount of calories I need in a day to stay the exact same weight, what I end up coming up with is 3,000 calories. What this does is puts me in a 200 calorie deficit which is gonna equate to less than half a pound gained every single week. So instead of opting for a 500 calorie surplus where I'm gaining a pound a week, or pushing it even farther, eating whatever I wanted, my weight is not going to get out of control. If I get 10 weeks into this and I feel like I've gained a little too much fat, I can always dial it back, do a mini cut, and continue back on the bulk. I'm telling you guys, I have let myself get pretty fat before, and every time I do it, there's like a 10-week period where I'm eating whatever I want, and then one day I kind of wake up, I look in the mirror, and I absolutely hate myself. But when you take control of your diet and you do it calculated, you eat the right amount of calories for you, you get in that kitchen, you whip some things up, this whole process couldn't be easier. So anyways, guys, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button, comment anything down below for the algorithm. My cookbook is available at the first link in the description box. Basically here, you don't gotta eat the exact foods that I did in this video. If you watch my channel or you have my cookbook, you can look at any of those recipes, you can make those, add those up until you reach the right amount of calories for you. Whether you're cutting or bulking, you can still eat this pizza while you are cutting as long as you hit your daily calorie goal. I always tell people, don't overthink it. You eat the foods in my cookbook, they're high protein, better for you alternatives. You hit your daily calories, you're gonna hit your protein no matter what, and you're gonna be just fine. Don't overthink it, just do it, and you'll be better for it. With that, we're out of here, baby. Thank you guys, as always. I'm gonna finish this pizza, maybe go play some Back for Blood. I'm really not sure. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see each and every one of you at the next video. See you guys. Don't be jealous. You can go make this right now if you want. Later.